beyond languages, beyond horizons. Kotoba Camp.
Scout.
Scout.
To explore an area to obtain information. To search for something or someone, a person sent to obtain information, especially about enemy forces or positions, a person who searches for talent.
侦察、探查、侦察员、童军、星探。
Honeybees scout for new food sources and communicate their findings to the colony through an elaborate dance. Ancient civilizations would scout neighboring territories before establishing trade routes or military campaigns.
The team must scout the area thoroughly before installing monitoring equipment in this fragile ecosystem.
Many animals scout their surroundings before emerging from protective cover to feed or drink.
When examining historical migration patterns, evidence suggests groups would scout new territories before relocating.
Scouting.
Scouting.
The scouting expedition to the Arctic yielded valuable data about the effects of climate change on polar ecosystems. Scouted.
Scouted. The carefully scouted archaeological site revealed artifacts dating back to the Neolithic period.
Explore, reconnoiter, investigate, survey.
探索、侦查、调查、勘测。
Ignore, overlook, disregard, neglect.
忽视、忽略、不顾、疏忽。
Sew.
So.
To join, fasten, or repair by making stitches with a needle and thread or similar implement.
缝制、缝合、缝纫。
Textile archaeologists have discovered bone needles that ancient peoples used to sew animal hides into clothing and shelter. The technique of sewing together plant fibers to create baskets dates back thousands of years across multiple cultures.
Surgeons must sew tissue with extreme precision to minimize scarring and promote proper healing after operations.
Before modern adhesives, bookbinders would sew signatures together to create durable, long-lasting volumes.
The ability to sew waterproof scenes was crucial for early maritime cultures, developing seafaring technologies.
Sewn.
Sewn.
The intricately sewn tapestry depicts historical events with remarkable detail and artistic precision. Sewing.
Sewing. The sewing of microscopic sutures requires steady hands and specialized training in microsurgical techniques.
Stitch, mend, darn, suture.
缝合、修补、织补、缝线。
Rip, tear, unstitch, separate.
撕裂、撕开、拆线、分离。
Shade.
Shade.
Partial darkness or protection from direct light. A gradation of color to screen from light or heat, to darken or obscure.
阴影、遮蔽、色调、明暗度、遮蔽、使阴暗为加上阴影。
Certain plant species thrive in the shade because they have adapted to lower light conditions through evolutionary processes. In the tropical rainforest, The multiple layers of canopy create varying degrees of shade that support different ecological niches.
She carefully shaded her drawings to indicate the depth and texture of the artifacts discovered at the excavation site.
Trees can significantly reduce soil temperature and evaporation rates in arid environments by providing shade to the ground below.
Impressionist painters were particularly interested in capturing the subtle shades of light throughout different times of day.
Shaded.
Shaded.
The shaded regions on the topographical map indicate areas below sea level that would be vulnerable to flooding. Shading.
Shading. Cross-hatching creates a complex shading effect that gives the illusion of three-dimensional form on a flat surface.
Shadow, cover, screen, shelter.
阴影、遮盖、屏障、庇护所。
Expose, illuminate, brighten, reveal.
暴露、照亮、使明亮、揭示。
Shallow.
Shallow.
Having little depth, not deep, lacking depth of thought or feeling, a shallow place in a body of water.
浅的、肤浅的、浅滩。
The shallow waters near the shore are often rich in biodiversity, supporting various aquatic species. Coral reefs often thrive in shallow regions where sunlight can penetrate easily for photosynthesis.
Many migratory birds prefer shallow wetlands as resting spots during their long journeys.
I think shallow discussions on complex issues often fail to address the underlying causes.
Coastal erosion can transform deep bays into shallow inlets, affecting marine navigation.
Shallowness.
Shallowness.
The shallowness of the river during drought makes it difficult for larger fish to survive. Shallowly.
Shallowly. Some topics are discussed so shallowly that they barely scratch the surface of the real issues.
Superficial. Surface. Slight. Trivial.
表面的、浅薄的、轻微的、琐碎的。
Deep, profound, substantial, meaningful.
深的、深刻的、实质的、有意义的。
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
A type of pasta made in long, thin strands, often served with sauce.
意大利面、细长面条。
In many cultures, sharing a meal like spaghetti can strengthen social bonds and foster community connections. Some historical accounts suggest that spaghetti originated in ancient China before spreading to Europe.
During casual gatherings, spaghetti often becomes a popular choice due to its simplicity and versatility.
I think spaghetti is a great dish for group dinners, as it's easy to prepare and appeals to many tastes.
Serving spaghetti at cultural events can highlight the influence of Italian cuisine on global food traditions.
Spaghettini.
Spaghettini.
Spaghettini cooks faster than regular spaghetti, making it ideal for quick meals. Spaghetti-like.
Spaghetti-like. Certain algae have a spaghetti-like structure, which aids in their buoyancy in water.
Pasta, noodles, macaroni, vermicelli.
面食、面条、通心粉、细面。
Rice, bread, potato, quinoa.
米饭、面包、马铃薯、藜麦。
Spark.
Spark.
A small fiery particle thrown off from a fire, a small flash of light to ignite, initiate, or stimulate something.
火花、火星、闪光、点燃、激发、刺激。
The professor's controversial theory sparked a heated debate among scholars in the field of evolutionary biology. People are forbidden to smoke in the arsenal because a stray spark might set off the munitions stored there.
The war indeed acted as a spark, uniting people from various backgrounds in their shared aspiration for freedom.
Even brief interactions, such as participating in a local festival, can spark curiosity and respect for other cultures.
The debate around the true extent of ancient civilizations' capabilities continues to spark discussions and research in archaeology and history.
Sparkle.
Sparkle.
The student's presentation sparkled with original insights that impressed the entire anthropology department. Sparking.
Sparking. The sparking of electrical wires in the laboratory created a potentially dangerous situation for the researchers.
Ignite, kindle, trigger, stimulate.
点燃、激发、引发、刺激。
Extinguish, suppress, dampen, stifle.
熄灭、抑制、抑制、窒息。
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
A small rodent with a long bushy tail and a habit of hoarding nuts to store or hide something for future use.
松鼠、储藏、贮藏。
Food storing behavior in squirrels demonstrates remarkable spatial memory capabilities for retrieving cached nuts. Gray squirrels exhibit complex decision-making when selecting sites to cache their winter food supply.
The squirrel's adaptive foraging strategies enable them to thrive in diverse environmental conditions.
Research indicates that squirrels can remember the locations of thousands of buried nuts for several months.
The scatter-hoarding behavior of tree squirrels contributes significantly to forest regeneration.
Squirrely.
Squirrely.
The squirrely behavior of these rodents makes them fascinating subjects for behavioral studies. Squirrel away.
Squirrel away. The researchers observed how squirrels strategically squirrel away their food supplies.
Cache, hoard, store, stockpile.
储存、贮藏、储藏、积累。
Scatter, disperse, distribute, spread.
分散、散布、分配、传播。
Squirt.
Squirt.
To force liquid in a sudden stream through a small opening, a small stream of liquid forced out through a narrow opening.
喷射、喷出、喷流、水柱。
Octopuses release clouds of dark ink, squirting it precisely in the shape of their own bodies to create decoys. Sea anemones actively squirt water from their central cavities to remove waste and maintain cleanliness.
The high-pressure water jets squirt through microscopic pores, enabling efficient filter feeding.
Certain species of fish squirt water above the surface to knock down insects for food.
The unique adaptation allows these mollusks to squirt water with remarkable accuracy at potential threats.
Squirter.
Squirter.
Tiny calcium-rich squirters and coral polyps contribute to reef formation. Squirty.
Squirty. The squirty defense mechanism evolved independently in multiple marine species.
Spray. Spurt. Eject. Shoot.
喷洒、喷出、射出、发射。
Absorb, retain, hold, contain.
吸收、保持、保留、容纳。
Sticky.
Sticky.
Tending to stick or adhere to surfaces, having an adhesive quality, a substance that is sticky or adhesive.
粘的、粘性的、粘住物、粘性物质。
The cell membrane produces a sticky substance that allows bacteria to adhere to surfaces in challenging environments. Certain plant species secrete sticky resins to protect themselves against insect invasions.
Spider silk contains sticky droplets that enhance its ability to capture prey effectively.
The sticky pads on gecko feet enable them to climb vertical surfaces with remarkable ease.
The enzyme creates a sticky end in DNA molecules, facilitating genetic recombination.
Stickiness.
Stickiness.
The stickiness of tree sap plays a crucial role in defending against bark-boring insects. Stickily.
Stickily. The pollen grains attach stickily to the bee's legs during pollination.
Adhesive, gummy, viscous, tacky.
粘住的、胶状的、粘稠的、粘性的。
Smooth, slippery, non-adhesive, dry.
光滑的、滑溜的、无粘性的、前燥的。
Syrup.
Syrup.
A thick, sweet liquid made from plant sap or sugar dissolved in water to treat or flavor with syrup.
糖浆、糖水，用糖浆处理。
The maple trees are tapped in late winter to collect sap, which is then boiled down to produce pure maple syrup. The concentration of glucose in the cell culture medium resembles natural plant syrups.
Certain species of insects feed on the sweet syrup produced by specialized glands in plants.
The enzyme breaks down complex carbohydrates into simple sugars, creating a syrup-like consistency.
Researchers analyzed the chemical composition of natural tree syrups to understand their medicinal properties.
Syrupy.
Syrupy.
The syrupy secretions protect the plant against dehydration in arid conditions. Syringe.
Syringe. The scientist used a syringe to extract the viscous plant sap for analysis.
nectar, honey, molasses, sap.
花蜜、蜂蜜、糖蜜、树叶。
Bitter, astringent, tart, sour.
苦的、涩的、酸涩的、酸的。
Well done. Take a break and remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Let's keep our learning motivation fresh.
Language is the roadmap of a culture.